live on your tablet, phone, and the KUTV app. This is 2 News Live.
Tuesday, November 14th. Let's start that again with the microphone on. Thanks for joining us on 2 News Live. It's Tuesday, November 14th. I'm Brian Schnee. Great to have you with us. We have a lot to go in depth on tonight in terms of Ruby Frankie appearing in court today. Ski Utah having a press event here in downtown Salt Lake City. I attended that earlier today. We'll get to it in just a few minutes. Before we get there, though, want to get to some breaking news right now out of Utah County. If we have that, let's do it. Two people are dead, one person in the hospital after a plane crash near the mountains east of Provo. Emma Riley is live. She's been out there for at least the last few hours here and shares the latest information from police. If we have Emma, let's get to her. Hi, Emma.
Hi, yes, the crash happened around 11 a.m. this morning. Utah County Sheriff's Office confirmed that there were 3 people in the plane. 2 people have died, but there is 1 survivor. We're about 11 miles away from the crash. It happened near Kive Peak, which the Utah County Sheriff's Office says is a difficult place to get to. The survivor actually, Sergeant and was able to walk around. He was flown to the hospital, but we are unaware of his condition as of right now. Right now, we don't know where the plane was coming from or where it was headed, and we don't know what caused the crash. Provo Police Department, the Utah County Sheriff's Office, and Utah County Search and Rescue have been out here for the last few hours, and they are still out here and will be for a while because it is a very difficult place to get to. It's near Kive Peak, which is where we are right now. But this is a developing story. We don't know who was in the plane. We don't know their identities, their age, or their gender. But all we know is that 2 people did die and there is 1 survivor.
Emma, thank you very much. We first told you about the plane crash through a breaking push alert. To get those breaking updates like this one, you can download the 2 News mobile app and they will pop up for you. Easy as that. YouTuber Ruby Frankie appearing in a southern Utah court this afternoon. While in custody, Frankie appeared virtually in Santa Clara Justice Court. This was related to a speeding infraction, which occurred just days before her arrest related to those child abuse allegations. We have some video from her appearance in Justice Court, which happened about 90 minutes ago. Frankie was charged with speeding, going 50 in a 35-mile-per-hour zone at Center Street and Snow Canyon Drive in Ivins, Utah. This happened a few days prior to her arrest on August 25th. The arrest involving Jody Hildebrandt took place on the 30th. Frankie entered a not guilty plea on September 18th for that traffic violation. Ruby only said 1 word today. She responded the word yes when the judge asked if she could hear him initially. Today, the city of Ivins asked the judge to dismiss the speeding charge. Ruby's attorney, Lamar Windward, said, "We agree," and the judge very quickly decided to drop the infraction against Frankie. Regarding Frankie and Jody Hildebrandt and the child abuse charges, no new court dates have been set. Both still remain in the Purgatory Correctional Facility, which is in Hurricane, Utah, but we've been checking daily to see if anything's happening with these 2. Frankie Hildebrandt, this case, of course, is something we've been following for months. We've been working to talk to those that say they've been impacted or have some perspective on all of this. You can find all of our coverage on our YouTube channel. It's at KUTV2 News. You should just go to the playlist that we have built for you, which is titled 8 Passengers. Big change at the top of the state's probation and parole agency. For that, we've got to have Wendy Howard in here. Has been investigating failed supervision of dangerous parolees for years and has won a number of awards for that work. And she's here and obviously joining us on 2 News Live with some information that was known internally but is now known to Wendy. What is going on with AP&P?
Well, the director of AP&P, Dan Blanchard, is being removed and being placed in the Utah Department of Corrections in an institutional role. This comes on the heels of multiple reports that I've done over the last 3 years on failed supervision of dangerous parolees who have gone on to kill and victimize innocent people. There is a lawsuit right now against AP&P, the state, for this failed supervision. So the news actually comes on the heels of many, many reports that I've done. And my source base was actually a lot of current and former agents who were complaining about the leadership, saying that they were, told not to write arrest warrants for parolees and probationers who had violated the terms of their parole and give them a pass, give them a break.
How crucial is the work for AP&P when it comes to keeping people safe here and the justice system in Utah? What is it that they do, and what is that role that they play?
Well, it's a critical role because you're dealing with some of the most dangerous offenders in the state. The Board of Pardons and Parole has granted them a chance, a shot at freedom. Once they're released from prison, they're placed on parole under the supervision of AP&P, and depending on their risk level, for example, if you have someone who is convicted of aggravated assault, somebody who has physically harmed someone and done their time for it, they're going to be not a moderate supervision risk, they're going to be possibly intensive, which is the highest, which means more supervision contacts by the AP&P agents on these parolees.
From your sources specifically, are they saying anything about what this means for the future of AP&P, and if changes need to be made so some of these violent offenders actually are in a different place here and not going back out to menace society?
Yes, absolutely. Well, they feel that this leadership change was necessary because they felt that under Blanchard that they were too soft and too lenient with these probationers and parolees who had violated the terms of their probation and parole. One thing I will say, and this goes back to the Board of Pardons and Parole, who has the ultimate authority to parole these offenders from prison. Once they're granted parole, AP&P has to supervise them. That's where the problem lies there. So when they're granted parole and the parole board, many say, the agents say that the parole board needs to come correct and realize that they are releasing violent parolees who have a propensity for violence. Giving them a chance has resulted in the murders of 9 innocent people, the killings of 9 innocent people, and AP&P is charged with supervising them. So it is a difficult job. But AP&P now has a new leader. His name is Alex Garcia. He was with the Department of Public Safety. He was the Deputy Director of the Peace Officer Standards and Training Board. He's coming on board on the 27th of this month. He has extensive law enforcement experience, so I think things are going to turn around.
Thank you, Wendy. Obviously, a lot of your coverage has made a lot of impact on people, so thank you for continuing to do that. And obviously, Wendy has covered AP&P extensively over the years. You can see all of her past reporting, including some of those different lawsuits and the different charges and a lot of stories that involve AP&P on our website, KUTV.com. KUTV has also been pressing for answers after the University of Utah announced gymnastics head coach Tom Fardon is on paid leave. Fardon is on leave just 3 weeks after rising gymnast Kara Aker announced that she's leaving the team and the sport, alleging emotional and verbal abuse. And the school says their decision on Fardon is not because of student-athlete welfare. Amanda Gilbert has been looking into this for several days. Here's a recap and an update from her.
Amanda Gilbert here with Channel 2. It's been a few days since the University of Utah placed gymnastics coach Tom Fardon on paid leave. He is the head coach, and this is a big deal because the U of U's gymnastics team is known for performing well. The university did release a statement, and they said this paid leave comes because of his recent conduct and actions not related to student-athlete welfare. The university made that statement, but this news comes 3 weeks after rising gymnast Kara Aker announced she's leaving the team, the school, and the sport because of alleged verbal and emotional abuse. She has a fairly long post on Instagram about it. Again, Kara Aker. So I've been trying to get some answers. The university athletes, former athletes, they've been pretty quiet. I went to the Board of Trustees meeting this morning. You can see them all there. They wouldn't comment on this. However, they did go into a closed session where the public couldn't attend, and they said that was because of personnel and safety issues.
Thank you, Amanda. If you want to see her report again, you can head to our KUTV YouTube page, and you can check out some of these videos under the shorts. Hey, look, I just posted one there. It's got me with my eyes closed. You can check out other quick updates from a lot of the trending stories. We've done obviously some updates on Ruby Frankie and such on our YouTube channel in the shorts section. Go check them out. All right, falling short compared to November of last year.
You talking about me?
No, I'm talking about this.
Okay.
2022. Well, I mean, hey, let me power stance it here so we're the same height. All right, so we're looking at our friends at Alta there. I mean, if anybody's got the big snow total.
Alta this year 33, average is about 50-ish. So we are just a few below normal, but again, it just shows you how incredible last November was.
I think
and that's why all those resorts opened early,
if you're
and there
a
was lots of
skier,
terrain that was open.
If you're a skier, you're a rider, you want this, so this is a little disheartening. And I think a lot of resorts are, in my opinion, I think they're making the correct call not to try to just get out there and try to force it. We need a little cooperation with the greatest snow on
That's
Earth.
right. We learned today about Snow Basin. They are now TBD. We don't know yet, so they kind of pushed that back. Solitude, though, still says that they're going to be reopening on Friday. Park City, Bryan Head still scheduled for November 17th. Snowbird, November 30th. Deer Valley, December 2nd.
All right.
But again, we need colder air and we need some snow.
It's tough to see TBD. We want some dates out here, Phyllis.
Okay, we're going to get a little bit of mountain snow, though, with our next storm. Decent rain also coming to the Wasatch Front. The problem with the storm, though, it's pretty mild. So those snow levels are going to be very high, 8,000, 8,500 feet. But we could still see several inches of snow up towards the peaks of our mountains here in northern Utah with that first wave. And then we're watching maybe for more rain and mountain snow moving in over the weekend. That one's still a little bit up in the air. There's still a lot of uncertainty on exactly how that's going to shape up, but mainly impacting northern Utah. So you can see a big dip in the jet stream. This is a large storm system, and moisture is now spreading into California, Oregon. That's where we have a little bit of rain, and this little piece is going to be pushing into Utah over the next 24 to 36 hours. But ahead of it, it's been very mild. Today we were in the 60s, and we're going to do it again for tomorrow. Tonight we're relatively mild with lows only in the 40s here along the Wasatch Front. 30s in central Utah, partly to mostly cloudy skies, but no rain for tonight, and really no rain for tomorrow, really until tomorrow night. That's when it arrives. We'll call it partly cloudy. Temperatures in the 60s. You can get some yard work done, hang up those Christmas lights before it gets cold. 50s, upper 50s in northeastern Utah and in our mountain communities. Moab at 66 if you're headed to those national parks. The weather's going to be perfect. 72 in St. George. All right, let's walk you through the storm system, though. Mentioned a few clouds rolling in tomorrow afternoon, especially in western Utah. Here we are by 10 o'clock. We'll have some scattered showers out in western Utah. Most of the rain here for the valleys doesn't really arrive until Thursday morning. But it looks pretty wet for your Thursday morning commute, so allow extra time. There could be some standing water. You'll need an umbrella. Not as much rain, though, down in southern Utah. Just some widely scattered showers, mainly Thursday morning. Rain will linger through early Thursday afternoon, then it's out of here by Thursday evening, and we'll see some improving conditions. And then again, maybe some moisture moving in over the weekend. So here's how much rain we could see. Right now it looks like 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch of rain in northern Utah, but locally higher amounts are possible. I really don't see a whole lot for eastern and southern Utah. I think 1/10 of an inch is going to be likely for some areas, but some areas might not even get that because it's going to be pretty scattered. Now, St. George, a little bit of rain Thursday morning, a little bit of rain on Saturday. We'll go from the 70s back into the 60s, low 60s through the weekend, and we'll stay in the low 60s early next week, but we'll have more sunshine by Monday and Tuesday. Salt Lake, 66 tomorrow. Goes to 56 on Thursday, so not a huge drop. A little bit of rain that's going to drop those temperatures. Upper 50s on Friday, mostly sunny skies. And we could have a little bit of rain over the weekend, maybe some light showers on Saturday, but that could be mainly south of Salt Lake. But again, still a lot of uncertainty with that one. A little bit of rain on Sunday could mix in with a little bit of snow Sunday night and into Monday morning. It does get colder next week, so this is good news for snow making next week. But we're still pretty mild all the way through the weekend.
Not here, obviously. I mean, you need obviously certain temperature standards and such, and to really give yourself an opportunity to blow snow for at least a few hours too, make it worthwhile.
Not going to happen over the next few days, yeah. But again, we'll get some mountain snow Thursday, but it's going to be high up above 8,000 feet.
Okay, thank you, Chase.
Yep.
Remember to download our 2 News weather app to know about the changes, to know about storms as they move in, all of that good stuff. Get those updated forecasts, the live radar right on your phone. The 2 News weather app is free to download. So as we talked about, Solitude right now, the lone resort in Utah, officially opening something here in the state, as others are starting to push their anticipated opening dates back now due to that lack of natural snow. I spoke with Ski Utah President Nathan Rafferty at an event here in Salt Lake City today about some of the upgrades at resorts and the impacts of those resorts in bringing the Olympics back to the Beehive State. Check it out. How do you keep the momentum going with a November that's not quite like last year to get that local momentum going?
Right. Well, what I would tell you, having lived and grown up here my whole life, is things change really quickly. And, right now it's sunny and warmish outside, but in a few days I think we're going to see cooler temps and more snow, and the stoke is going to turn right back on. And, like I was saying in the press conference, it feels like winter just ended. And last year was a winter that, is a once-in-a-generation ski season. we'd be really excited if we came even close to that number next year. But in Utah, we are lucky that we see a lot of snow typically, and even some of our worst years are better than most people's best years. So I have no doubt we're going to do great this year.
It's interesting because obviously you want people to come, you want record tourism, but how does that impact how resorts handle crowds? Obviously parking is the big thing, right?
Sure.
Especially in the Cottonwoods when things get dicey, but what is kind of the mindset and the shift of how Ski Utah helps ease the mind of some of our resorts here of, yeah, it's great to have all these people, but we need places to put them.
Yeah, absolutely. So resorts have been working all all summer long on new parking plans and upgrading the way they move people into and out of the resorts. And a year like last year, where you're at the kind of the high end of the capacity for many of our ski areas, is a really good way to monitor how can we park people, how can we get people into and out of here in a good way. So last year we felt like we were had a great ski season and continue to hope for more of that this year. Well, we all know that hotel or restaurant that you loved a long time ago that you walked into and you look around and you go, man, this place is getting kind of tired. It felt new a while ago. So you have to incrementally make all these upgrades year after year after year, and it's not something where we ever want to get caught resting on our laurels, having a great ski season like last year, just saying, well, we're just going to keep everything the same. Like any other industry, any other business, you need to continually upgrade the experience.
I know you mentioned just 2034, right? We have such a rich snow sports culture here where people train year-round for what's next. How much does it mean to have our resorts host some of these events that are like the World Cup, for example, like Deer Valley does, to keep that competition sort of alive here, to keep that interest going for another decade before we might get the games back?
Yeah, well, a lot of hosting the Olympics, we talk about legacy, and the legacy that the Olympics have left here in Utah is unmatched, I'd say. You go up to the Utah Olympic Park on any given day and see how much training is going on, hosting World Championship events, hosting World Cup events. It's something that we're proud of as an industry, we're proud of as a community. They're fun to be a part of, and fingers crossed, we're ready, willing, and able for any Olympics that might come our way in the future.
The O word, Olympics. Let's talk about it. Almost a decade.
I know.
Almost a decade away. We're thinking, right? 2034. In the more near future, I know we talked about some of these here. What we didn't talk about, Woodward here.
Friday?
Hoping for Friday. Woodward's obviously got a different model. I mean, it's obviously park-based. A lot of it is man-made in a certain area based on that.
And if you make that drive every morning, not right now because it's too warm, but my wife makes that drive. She sends me photos. I mean, they are just making so much snow. It's like a snow globe if you're along I-80 driving past Woodward.
I mean, it's an impressive facility inside and out. So if you've never been there, even if you don't ski or ride, go tubing there.
Yeah.
It's one of the best places to do
runs.
that.
It's fun.
Yep. I know we talked about some of these other places. Our friends in Weber County there, Nordic Valley, also getting going here. By the way, Nordic has a couple days, $9 lift tickets. Just want to throw that out there. Took advantage a few years ago. Okay. Sundance we didn't talk about either, and boy, did they have a great year last year.
Yeah, I got snowed in at Sundance.
Yes, you did. Let's revisit that.
Stuck.
Roll the tape.
And no power.
And then here, our friends outside of Beaver. I mean, Eagle Point Resort on the map, and they should be. Also had a really good year here.
That's the one place I have not skied.
We're going to change that this year, aren't we?
We got to do it.
Chase is getting out to Eagle Point. Maybe opening day. We'll get you down there.
Sure.
Thanks for joining us for 2 News Live. Hoping to see these dates change. I don't know. We'll see. Need some of that snow. We'll be here Monday through Friday at 5:30, so we're back tomorrow. More in-depth conversations, all that good stuff. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. Thanks for being with us tonight on 2 News Live. See ya.